the frog around my neck. I was 17 when doctors told me I was going to die. At the time, I didn't really know how I was supposed to react. I remember my mom sitting next to me, holding my hand tightly. The doctor was talking, but after he said the word terminal, I kind of stopped listening. I just stared at the wall. There was a painting of a beach hanging behind him. I thought it was weird for a room where people find out they were dying. My name is Mateo Rivera. I'm Puerto Rican, and until all of this happened, I was just a pretty normal kid. Except for two things. The first was that I had cancer. The second was that I had a pretty bad stutter. Words would get stuck in my throat. The doctor said I might have a few months, maybe less. My mom cried. I didn't. I tried to say something to make her feel better, but I couldn't get the words out. So eventually I just stopped trying. That's when my mom noticed the necklace. A little green frog I'd worn since I was a kid. Abuela had given it to me. She looked uncomfortable. No, Mateo. I mean, do you remember exactly when I told her no? I was 6. That night, I woke up because something was moving on my chest. The frog necklace was gone. Well, sort of. The chain was still there, but the pendant wasn't metal. It was breathing. Its stomach was expanding and shrinking. Then its eyes opened. I tried to rip it off. That's when the frog jumped. It landed on my hand. It was bright blue now. And then it bit me. Everything started spinning. I fell off my bed. And then I wasn't in my bedroom anymore. I was 9 years old. I was inside an abandoned Hooters. The orange walls were peeling. The booths were covered in dust. Broken beer bottles all over. I heard something in the kitchen. Claws scraping across tile. Like whatever was making the sound wasn't in any hurry. It was an anteater, 6 feet tall, standing on 2 legs. Its claws were long enough to scratch the floor, and its eyes looked human. I ran to a mirror. When I opened my mouth, I saw a tusk, a walrus tusk, coming directly out of my gums. The anteater grabbed me. With one violent pull, it ripped the tusk out. It whispered, "Don't remember me." Then I woke up. I told my mom everything. The more I talked, the paler she became. She said, "Your grandfather saw the same thing. He disappeared for 3 days when he was 17. He found an abandoned restaurant. Something was living underneath it. My grandmother had been terrified of the necklace. She kept it locked in a wooden box and told my mom never to touch it. The next morning, I went looking for the building. I found it 40 minutes outside town, exactly like my memory. Inside, I found a photograph. Most of it was scratched, but I could see my grandfather. Around his neck was the same frog. Behind the photo, a door led underground. At the bottom was a room with hundreds of frog necklaces hanging from the ceiling. Underneath each one was a name, Mateo Rivera 2026. The anteater was there, wearing a hospital bracelet just like mine. It said, "You're hungry." It had been putting pieces of itself inside people, waiting for them to get sick and afraid. I woke up in the hospital. My cancer was gone. No tumor. No explanation. But every night, I heard the croaking. I pulled a tusk from the frog's mouth. Then I pulled one from my own. I wasn't afraid anymore. I said, "I remember you." I had already become the creature. I had already been here. The frog spoke in my own voice. "Don't remember me." Everything went black.